Hello, I am printf, and this is another Cannon Rush tutorial video, this time for PvP on merry-go-round. Again, this map is no longer in the map pool, which is why I am now feeling free enough to create this video, so that I do not have to worry about competition on ladder, or about opponents being aware of this build. So I don't have anything particularly excellent for this map, but I will show you what I used. Now this map is a 3-player map, which means that it is asymmetrical, so I have to go over each base individually. For the top left base here, PvP, the build that I used was this, which is not perfect, but it is decent. You can then place the cannon here if you want, and then you can reinforce this pylon here, or reinforce the pylon here to place the cannon back here. You can also reinforce this pylon like this if you place the cannon up here, and you reinforce this pylon down here like this again if you place the cannon up here. So if probes are pulled for exactly one side, you can place the cannon on the other side and reinforce at will. You can even reinforce here and then in here if this pylon happens to be broken first. So if probes are pulled for only one side, then you're generally safe. This pylon will not be broken before the other pylon simply because it does not have enough surface area. So you don't have to worry about reinforcing this one. This pylon here, like I said, can be reinforced as such, but if you reinforce it like this, you can't reinforce any of the other pylons while still having room for a cannon. There is a 5-pylon variant of this, which is harder to break, however it does hit quite a bit later. There are also numerous 3-pylon wall-offs that you can use, but I do not personally believe that those are especially effective. In the top right base, we have a 4-pylon wall-off. This allows you to place a cannon back here. This can be reinforced like this, and is fairly, I believe, impossible to destroy. The issue with this is that it takes a very long time to place this pylon and then this pylon, which means that a quick probe pull can block the placement. This is unavoidable and usually won't be too much of an issue. And finally, on the bottom side, this is possibly the best of the spawns to Cannon Rush. And the wall you use here is either this with 3 pylons, where you get the cannon back here, and then you can do a partial reinforcements like this, which will minimize the surface area available to attack the cannon. Or you can do a 4-pylon variant, which makes it significantly more difficult to destroy the cannon. Alternatively, you can do a 4-pylon like this, and then this pylon can either go here or here, depending on whether the opponent is pulling probes or not. Now this has the same problem as this wall up here, which is it can be blocked by an instantaneous probe pull, so I'm not the biggest fan. You could somewhat more safely do this, and then something over here instead of going all the way up here. Again, I don't think that is a good idea. I think if you're going to go for this wall, then you should just take the risk of losing to an instantaneous probe pull, or at least being forced to improvise and being behind. So aside from that, the only other detail to note is that on this map, because it is 3-player, you don't know exactly where the opponent spawned, which means that you have to send out 2 probes instead of 1 probe initially. So you'll send out 2 probes at the same time, and then not send out a probe when you build your forge. So your forge probe will return to the mineral line, and then your 2 probes that were sent out earlier will either reach the opponent's base and stay there, or reach an empty base and then immediately leave and come join your first probe at the enemy base. I hope that this video was educational and will allow you to be able to successfully can rush PvP if you happen to ever be playing on merry-go-round against friends or in a tournament setting, or if it is perhaps somehow reintroduced to the latter, which feels unlikely. And I also hope that it can perhaps allow you to become more adept at finding your own spots to can rush on the newer maps. Good luck and have fun.